We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissic. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off by Quan Alexander, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jarran Reed in there to drop him for a loss on the play. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And this is caught by Jackson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. This is Marshall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Brendan Langley there to get him down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And this is complete. It's Marshall. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. And Winston lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option. Taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
With it is Jackson. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. A first down throw for Winston. Forced out to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Malik McDowell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Jameis to throw it. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On 3rd down, Winston. He's going to look deep down the field. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. And that'll set him back 5. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now Wilson rolling to his left. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game was we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On third down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Jackson. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. In on the stop, Bradley McDougald.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Jameis on second down. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Marshall now, the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
It's time to play. Green, Trevor, say.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. Play action now. Winston. Pass incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Winston. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back. Onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Penny. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working.
The Seahawks on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Penny, a first down carry. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They go play action with Wilson. Leaves it for Penny. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kendall Beckwith leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Wilson. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Buccaneers will take over at the 20. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll run with Marshall, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Lockett. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A handoff to Penny. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. In on the stop, Vernon Hargreaves.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Come on, let's go. 14.
From the shotgun, Wilson, flush to his right. He's got the tight end, Vanette. The 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Point after, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here, 2nd and a yard from the 34. 2nd down, Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, it's Marshall. What a spin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Winston now from the 50. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Dancing to his left. He can't. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Malik McDowell in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Here's Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Now Wilson on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
4 down, check, 4 down. Let's go, 14.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Oh, he's going backwards. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
"15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Winston. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now Marshall, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Penny. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Play action. It's Wilson. That's caught by Penny. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with it.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off at his own 46.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Oh, shifty. Whoa. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Full play time, guys. Let's go.
Here's a give to Penny. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Check 50, check 50.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Again, it's Penny. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all, and the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
Back near his own goal line, Winston. Being chased out left. Throw left side complete. That's Marshall. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And this is incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 48, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Check 50, check 50.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Well, so they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you did? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback.